Got it. Thank you.
Everybody good? Everybody ready to go? Awesome. Nick, all good?
Everybody ready?
Good.
All right. Proud of our guys getting the win. Homecoming. Nice turnout from the alumni and students, et cetera. Really proud of our guys. You know, it's not there. We're at a point in the year playing Sun Belt games, and you look across this league right now. We can beat anybody we can play, and we can lose to anybody we play. That bunch that we just played today is a very improved football team over the last several years. Jake Spavital has done a really good job with their growth. They're a very veteran, mature team. They've taken all transfers the last 2 years and haven't signed any high school kids, which is, you know, it's a philosophy of trying to win immediately, maybe more so than long-term, maybe building for the future. But you could tell they're a mature team by how they played the game. Did not play our best in a lot of regards. We did outgain them 406 to 293. We won the explosive play battle, didn't win the turnover battle, which is frustrating. Won the run game battle. Ran for 107 to their 86, which is one of our keys of victory this week. But continue to find ways to win. You know, we talked about before the game. I got asked just now by the radio guys. You know, our mentality, and Lonnie Cochran, our team chaplain, shared with our guys last night in this same room. We kind of talked about some people in life, they run. Some people in life, they hide. And then I reiterated to them this morning at the hotel and in the locker room before the game, Troy Trojans don't run and hide, we fight. And that's what we do. And I think we've got a team of fighters. We're going to show up and compete every day. We're going to walk into the arena in the fire and compete. And I think we laid it all on the line. Came out on the right side of it very easily. Could have gone the wrong way, but our guys found a way to get the win. So we're finding ways to finish what we start, and I'm proud of them for that, because winning close games is not easy. It's hard. And winning college football games is not easy. It's hard. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody for winning by 3 points and being 5-2. I'm just not. So got a quick turnaround. Formidable opponent next week in South Alabama. Our schedule will be fast forward a little bit with how things go on our normal schedule this week, and back to work tomorrow with our guys to try to get prepared for, I think, a really good football team in South Alabama. Man, they're dang good. So I don't know how we're going to line up. We got to get healthy and see who we have available to play with in that game. Not a waiver wire in college football, but we could use it because we're a little bit thin in some spots. So with that, open up to questions.
Gunner went down in the second half again. How is he doing, first off? And then is that the reason that you went with Deggy afterwards?
Yeah, so Gunner had his helmet knocked off for the second time. Got up, was a little bit scraped up on his arm, was fine. Like, doctors came over to me, they're like, he's good. When we inserted Jarrett, I just felt like, let's let him finish a drive or two. And then when I brought Gunner over and said, hey, I'm going to let Jarrett take a drive. And Gunner was great with it. I said, I want to make sure. I said, you need to make sure the doctors, everything's good. And the doctors were on page with that. Got Gunner checked out. After that drive where we scored the touchdown, Gunner was fully available. And Gunner even came to me and said, Coach, roll with the hot hand here. Let Jarrett finish the game. I love both those guys because they both want to be the starting quarterback. They both love to be the starting quarterback. I brought it up to our team a few weeks ago. Jarrett Dagey, I think, is the active leader in college football in yards passing and touchdowns maybe. Like, he's got stupid numbers. But he hasn't once acted like, y'all owe me anything, I deserve something different. He just comes in, he works, and when his number gets called, you play good things happen. I mean, so he's been a part of the last 3 games in some form or fashion, right? I mean, he helped us win the Western Kentucky game at the end, started last week's game, and then came in and helped us close out this game. So I feel really at peace with having Gunner and Jarrett both available to play high-level football for us. And I think Gunner's fine. I think he's fully available. He was today. But just at the end, felt like giving him a little bit of a chance to catch his breath and maybe calm down because he got popped a couple of times, but it was nothing that he was out injury-wise for the game. You know, Tez, Tez, I think is fine. They're going to check him out right after this. We didn't put him back in out of precaution. I didn't fully get the full answer on was he not available or was he available, but we were just rolling with what we had. We knew was ready to go. He got, I think it looked like maybe a shoulder or an elbow kind of. So it took him a second to get up, but he dealt with a little bit of an injury during training camp that was similar, so it's not something he's dealt with before.
I was just going to ask, Coach, what did you think of Gunner and Jarrett's performance this afternoon?
Thought Gunner early was shaking some of the rust off from live action. You could tell he didn't play last week. Maybe missed a couple throws early, and the timing with the receivers was off on a couple things as well. It wasn't just Gunner. I thought he came back and did some nice things on that touchdown to Tez. Really put the ball in there on that one, and then Tez finished the run. And then I thought Jarrett came in. You know, it's hard. Jarrett this week didn't get starter reps. The Southern Miss week, he got all the starter reps. Thursday, Friday, the starter gets a bunch of the reps, and the backup guys just standing there watching maybe a decent amount. So I'm proud of both those guys. They're both competitive. They're both tough-minded. They both care about the team and love the team. And they both support each other at an incredibly high level, which is what great teammates do. And I cannot reiterate that enough. That sets a tremendous example for everybody on our roster.
John?
Along those lines, what was your thought process on starting Gunner this week? And had you considered Jarrett when Gunner was struggling a little bit in the second half, or did it just happen with the helmet coming
That's
off?
a lot of questions right there. All right, so the first part was what went into starting Gunner. I'm not going to have a guy lose the job through injury per se, maybe, and then also Gunner won the job during training camp. Thought Jarrett had every opportunity, has done some really good things. That was really what went into it. It was just, hey, let's just go back to what we had set. I feel confident in either one of them to be our starter. And then, yeah, you're constantly in a game. You're evaluating everything about who gives you the best chance to win or what gives you the best chance to win. And then is a guy fully capable maybe in the moment? Because, like I said, Gunner didn't have any severe injury issue, but he had been hit a few times. And he was fine, but I just maybe wanted him to kind of be able to catch his breath and not get thrown right back into the fire because he got hit pretty solid a couple times. He was good, but, I want to be smart tough, not dumb tough, and protect our players. If I thought it was his best interest to maybe watch for a minute and just kind of calm his mindset down and just kind of collect himself. But those guys, I can't reiterate, man, those guys both handle things like pros. I mean, there's zero, and I mean zero, issues in that quarterback room. They're the easiest group I deal with. I wish every other position group was that easy, to be honest with you. I have to tell some of our DBs why we're doing the rotation the way we are, because every DB and receiver like Rajay, they all think they should get the ball more.
Hey, Coach, right here. Obviously, as you know, you're not going to win every single game by 4 touchdowns. So how proud of you are your defense? They gave up those 2 touchdowns, but they really locked in there in the second half and really gave your offense a chance to get back into the game. Yeah,
the one in the second half I'm still pissed off about, to be quite honest with you. That was bad football. I mean, that was ugly. And I'm glad we won the game, but that was sickening because we didn't cover the back. We missed about 2 tackles on the sideline, and I thought we loafed. Like, don't get me started. I was not happy with the way that play went. That was a trash job of coaching by me and the defensive coaches, because that should not have happened that way. And now, our defense played really good in a lot of areas. You give up 293 yards and hold the team to 14 points, you're going to win most of those games. But I'm still angry about the sloppy football we played on a couple snaps that they might not have scored if we played better.
Anybody else?
We saw a different punter on one play. What was the decision for that one?
Yeah, we like to keep people on their toes. He punts the ball with his left foot. That means the ball spins differently, which is something maybe the average football fan doesn't think about, but now the punt catcher has to adjust. And then, we get in a bunch of different punt formations to try to confuse people because I want to always have a fake or 2 or 3 available, and I always want to have the opportunity to punt right, left, middle, everywhere, and get into a bunch of different pictures. And Nick's a really good punter. He's our backup. He's also going to play baseball here as well. And he's an outstanding young man who I was glad to see him get in, and thought Mike handled the punting stuff he got today pretty well too. We finally got one down inside the 10 that was a nice backing them up punt.
Coach, 2 questions. 4th straight game with 100 yards. Obviously a huge part of your game the past couple games.
Yeah.
But second question, just talk about DK Billingsley and the offensive line on that last drive, being able to milk the clock like they did and not have to turn it back over to the defense.
No doubt. I challenged them after the last time we lost the game about we didn't have to go back on the field on defense if we could have just finished the game on offense. And we've done that a couple times since. We did it against Marshall here at home, and we did it again today. It's always nice to see us to be able to go to victory formation. And then talking about winning the rushing game, 78% of the time coming into this week in college football, the team that wins the run game wins the game. 75% of the time, the teams that wins the turnover margin wins the game. I study all those numbers. Those were 2 of our keys to victory. We won the run game. We did not win the turnover margin. But you win the run game and the line of scrimmage battle and the physical battle, you win 78% of the time so far this year in college football. So it's pretty important to win the run game. Appreciate y'all. Go Trojans.